Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Bella? Hello?
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Gun. Zebra. Move.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Flush to his right. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line out. First. Keep going.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, Cousins again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. On play action, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now the first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got his man on the out route. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Play fake. Cousins. That is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor. And it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Off the play fake, Cousins. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Newton to throw. And they get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Here's White. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They snap it to Newton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They go play action. Cousins. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with White. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Newton now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, It doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Newton. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And Newton's going to keep it. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
Newton takes it himself. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Cam Newton taking it in. And the Cowboys are in for 6. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a carry for White. And down inside the 15 he goes. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. James White, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Murphy. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
We're going, let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And able to get get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sean Lee in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Dancing to his left. And a pressure gets to him again. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now White, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Out of the gun, Newton. It's complete to Graham. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Come on now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
To throw on second down is Newton. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now a play fake here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. That'll bring up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Cousins now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for the Saints. 54 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cousins again. His throw incomplete.
I absolutely love that play call there. They just came off of a big play. They've got momentum in their direction, and they come back and take the shot at the end zone. Just unable to complete it, but I love their aggressiveness.
And you feel like the defense, a sigh of relief, could have been back-to-back really big plays. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. To the air again, it's Cousins. Steps away to his left. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here comes Grant on the return. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Back now in Arlington. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
20.
To throw on 2nd down, Newton. He's got his man on the crossing route. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Come on now. Let's rock now. That's it. Now, Katie. Right to the three. Ready.
Toss play to McKinnon. Uses the spin. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They stay on the ground with White. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now it's Murphy. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit, and you just wonder.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Allen Bailey in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing is Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. He's still barreling through. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He was looking for Matthews that time. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. Twisting away. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. First and goal. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. They come out here in the I. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. The sneak doesn't quite get him there. He gets 2. Now it's 4th and a yard. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Dallas, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.